It's a terrible day to be a Nazi fascist billionaire in the United States of America because the people have shown that they don't give a shit about your money when you're a Nazi. But let's go take a little trip down memory lane. Here was Elon Musk on election day to Fox News talking about just how important the Supreme Court race was.
Well, the reason tonight's elections are so important is that the judge race will decide whether the Wisconsin districts get redrawn. They're going to try to gerrymander Wisconsin to remove 2 Republican seats. And as you know, the House is currently Republican by a razor-thin margin, which means that losing this judge race has a good chance of causing Republicans to lose control of the House. If you lose control of the House, there will be nonstop impeachment hearings. There will be nonstop hearings and subpoenas. And they're going to do everything possible to stop the agenda that the American people voted for when they voted for President Trump with a popular vote and the House and the Senate in November. They're going to do everything possible to stop the president's agenda.
Good. I hope there are nonstop impeachment proceedings for these absolute con men criminals.
You know what wouldn't cause nonstop impeachment and subpoenas? Following the law, following the Constitution. You wouldn't have to worry about that, Elon, if you weren't doing shady shit. Not to mention, he's saying President Trump's agenda, clearly this is Elon Musk's agenda. This is Elon Musk taking a hammer to the federal government. He was not elected. In fact, he's not even a citizen.
This man wore a Wisconsin cheesehead, stood up on stage doing toe touches, acting as awkward as all get out, spent over $20 million, went on a Fox whining, crying, titty baby tour. And all you have to know is that whatever Elon Musk wants, if you believe in democracy and you believe in freedom, you don't have to be a really big thinker. You just have to want the opposite. Next up, we have Musk hypocrisy after the end of this race. So I think Elon Musk is now entering the bargaining stage of his loss. Put up this tweet. So America with a verified badge tweets, Wisconsin question 1, which adds a voter ID requirement to the state's constitution, has passed. Elon Musk retweets it and puts, this was the most important thing. But I want to remind everybody, just a few hours before that, this was his stance. He puts, what's at issue here is control of the U.S. House of Representatives. This Wisconsin Supreme Court race might decide the future of America and Western civilization. It's a big deal. And I want you all to realize every single time he says Western civilization or freedom, substitute that word for fascism. And that's what he really means.
Absolutely. And he is running around spending all this money in Wisconsin because he knows deep down how unpopular he is and his cuts are and Doge is and Trump is. He knows that when the voters go in 2026, unless he can rig it somehow, which I'm sure he's working nonstop to do, they're fucked. I hope that's right.
Well, I think that these guys think they live in this bubble. And, Musk has had all of Twitter, the algorithms gamed to aid his ego and to aid his agenda. And I think a lot of these people are so clueless as to the rest of America and what they believe because they just die on this hill inside this right-wing media echo chamber. So furthermore, he's a unstable, untreated drug addict. So does he know what's going on other than he just wants to stop investigations to him? He wants to rip off the American taxpayer. He wants to make sure he reminds Trump all the time that he owns him. Outside of that, I don't see that this guy really has his wits about him.
Well, I think with all the Tesla boycott, I think he's getting the message.
I think that's very true. Okay. Next up, here is a tweet with Musk projecting. So this is after he's lost, and he says, the long con of the left is corruption, of the judiciary. And this is so dangerous because they know that they can control these right-wing Republican congressmen. And so what they're trying to attack now is the judiciary. But last night's victory gives room and space for some of these just cowardice, spineless Republicans to start voting a little bit differently. They, behind the scenes, have been telling everybody, we hope Musk loses, but they can't go out on camera and say that. They have to put it to the people of Wisconsin. That's how weak and whiny and spineless the Republican Party is. They put it on everybody else to stand up for what deep down they know is right.
Can you imagine being such a coward that you're an elected officer of your constituents and you are too big of a pussy to stand up for what they want? And here's Elon Musk. He's talking about gerrymandering. The Republicans have had the corner on gerrymandering since as long as I can remember. And then for him to say it'll corrupt the judiciary. The judiciary is the only thing that's holding this democracy together by a shoestring, because he and Donald Trump are trying to consolidate power and make it a dictatorship.
There's no question. And when you asked, can you imagine being that cowardice? And I can't, because when we first started this podcast, the president of the podcasting company that we signed with told us, don't talk about politics. And I couldn't do that. I didn't want to get behind a microphone and not fight for human rights. We're both diehard political junkies, and it's something that's important to me. You see all of these corporations now that are not funding Gay Pride Week anymore. We're about to enter Pride Month, and they're pulling their funding. And to me, I'm like, are you really going to play this short game? So the whole time, your support and putting rainbows in your advertisement meant nothing but you earning money. And the minute Trump wins, you abandon the LGBTQIA plus community. You abandon the Black Lives Matter community. To me, it's disgusting. I cannot stand it when people don't stand up for what they believe in and have a pick me mentality, just like all of these American corporations right now have. It's Pride Month, and everybody's accepted, that this is where civil rights have evolved to. So they're like, yes, pick us. We have rainbows in our advertisements. Trump wins. Oh, we're pulling funding. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine what it would feel like right now to be a gay person, to be a Black person, and know that other people's support of you is contingent upon how much they can profit off of it? It's disgusting. It is despicable, and it lives and breathes in this MAGA movement. Next up, we have Musk trying to give us some inspirational quotes on Fox. And before this video is played, I want you to listen to how awkward the Fox entertainers respond to him.
I think it's always good when thinking about something that you're afraid of. When thinking about fear, look fear straight in the eye, and it will disappear.
Okay. All right.
The nature of fear is that people don't look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it directly, and it will be gone.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Words to live by.
This coming from the guy who will not sit down with Hassan Piker,
Right.
the streamer, and play video games with him because he cheats at video games. This coming from the guy who will not sit down with Jon Stewart and take a real interview. This coming from the guy who sits down with the most obsequious, ridiculous propaganda team on the planet at Fox News, and that's his safe space. And when he gets into his safe space, he whines. People are mean to me about Tesla. Tim Walz is celebrating when my stock falls down. He is the biggest titty baby whiner, and he wants to get on Fox News and lecture the American public about looking fear straight in the eyes. This guy is the most fear-based, fear-operated, whining, whinging titty baby this country has ever seen. And I thought you could not out titty baby Donald Trump. And Elon Musk delivers and delivers every single time. And what this tells me, you guys, is the bullying is working. We need to keep on. This guy is a Nazi. This guy is not even a real American. So for all of you MAGA people, for the Stephen Millers of the world that said America is for Americans and Americans only, how the fuck are you supporting Elon Musk and his multi-billion-dollar welfare handouts to his corporations that the federal government swoops in and makes sure they don't go bankrupt.
Well, I'll tell you how they do it, because he continues to give money to Donald Trump, and he owns Donald Trump. He knows it. He's on Twitter tweaking the algorithm so that liberal voices are drowned out. He is, when you say who is the bigger titty baby, I'm with you. I never thought we would find someone that thought they were a victim more than Donald Trump. We found him.
Yes, and that shows you that you can have hundreds of billions of dollars and still be an abject failure on the inside. On paper, yeah, you wanted capitalism. On the inside, you're a weak, whining, crying titty baby. These MAGA men think they're so macho, and I have never seen such whining titty babies in my life. That's just the perpetual victim, teeny weeny micro penis parade. It's ridiculous. Okay, next up, we have Crawford, the Supreme Court winner in Wisconsin. You've got to listen to her speech, you guys. It is fantastic.
Someone who watches out for people. But I've got to tell you, as a little girl growing up in Chippewa Falls, I never could have imagined that I'd be taking on the richest man in the world. For justice in Wisconsin. And we won.
I think this is amazing. I think we are consistently seeing women stand up. You have the widow of Steve Jobs that owns The Atlantic, that will not be bought and paid for, that vociferously fights for the First Amendment and free press, and doesn't go on the news acting like a titty baby. I mean, let's just imagine for a second. Donald Trump ascends to be president of the United States, and he's mad at an Iowa pollster in 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what a whining, crying titty baby. Elon Musk goes on Fox and Friends and tells him, you need to be scared because this is going to be the end of Western civilization. And here's this woman with more balls than all of the MAGA men combined, who fought hard and stood for justice and freedom and stood up to money and power and spoke truth to it. And she won. And there is a vibe shift. Things are changing in the United States.
Well, it's interesting because the women, the ex-wives of the billionaires are all on the side of democracy. Belinda Gates, Mackenzie Scott, Steve Jobs' wife. Okay, so switching that. The only thing better about this victory would have been if Susan Crawford was Black, in my opinion, because Elon Musk is a huge misogynist. He only has male babies. And now, I mean, I love that a woman beat him. Would have been better if she was a Black woman, but I'll take a win. A win's a win.
Yeah, and there's something about Black women that really get under the skin of MAGA.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're
that's,
racist.
that's when they start screaming at the top of their lungs, DEI, DEI. I mean, they just go bananas. Speaking of the vibe shift, let's listen to this clip right here.
About Rogan as we listen to his podcast. Rogan is part of a vibe shift, and we're watching for other signs of this as well. Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports criticized the Trump White House last week over Signalgate, and we've seen some Republican senators start to very gently criticize the administration over cuts to the health departments. So we're looking for signs of that vibe shift, and that's why tonight's special elections in the U.S. are interesting also, right? Are there other signs that maybe Trump is not as invincible as members of his party have convinced themselves he is?
Okay, so listen up, listeners. This has been really painful, these 70-something days. And they have flooded the zone, but they've gotten their ass beat in court. These people cannot fight fair. Elon had to go play game show host and put a piece of cheese on his head and give away $1 million checks. And everybody still said, no, we hate you. We hate your cars. We think you're a Nazi. Even people within the right-wing media echo chamber, they're losing Barstool Sports. You're getting called out by Joe Rogan. This is a vibe shift. So I call on all of these corporations that are picking up all of the picking up all the LGBTQ rights, throwing them under the bus, throwing away their DEI programs, and remind you, you're playing a very short game for two very teeny tiny little men. You are throwing away your morals for a micro penis parade. And that micro penis parade will last about as long as those micro penises, which is not very long. So listen up, buttercups. Fasten your seatbelts. This is a tough fight, and we've got to fight it and keep bullying the shit out of Elon Musk because he's the biggest whining titty baby on the planet. Subscribe to our channel. We are desperately trying to get to 1 million because Pumps and I, these two old broads and the left-wing media echo chamber, we want that YouTube trophy, by God. So subscribe, comment, do everything you can do, and we'll see you all later.